made it. It's October 31st. It's Halloween. 30 days of counting down some awesome horror movies. Some scary, some spooky, some funny, some spooky and funny, some scary and not funny, some just freaky. And here we are finally at our ultimate pick. And I don't know what you all thought it was going to be, but if you know me very well, I don't think this is going to be a surprise at all. This is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. This is, I think very few people would argue, the greatest horror comedy ever made. The one that I keep using the word prototype, but it is. I think this was one of the moments in the modern era of entertainment and filmmaking and everything that something clicked and people realized the true connection between horror and comedy. How it's all about timing, how it's all about suspending moments, building the tension before the release. I think whether it's the shower scene in Psycho, or if it's Dracula sneaking up behind Lou Costello, the film or the entertainment value functions on holding that moment and building the audience's suspense and then the release. So that's why this is right here. I grew up before a little bit before the age of home video. Home video hit, I was 3rd or 4th grade, I think. So so TV was the only real avenue for me to watch some of this stuff. And it was hard to watch some of the older Universal horror films, and even some of the more recent horror films on TV. Not a lot of stuff screened, and quite possibly not a lot of stuff I was allowed to watch at a younger age. I always talk about my mom did let me watch Dracula when I was 6 or 7, but it was on very late at night and I fell asleep not too long into it. But this movie, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, was on not every Sunday, but it was on like WPGH in Pittsburgh, like maybe every other month at least. And I was always up on a Sunday watching, and I would watch a lot of other Abbott and Costello. I really enjoyed Abbott and Costello as when I was younger. So Buck Privates and Africa Screams and all the other stuff. Obviously, there were 3 Abbott and Costellos that are mostly my favorites. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which we're watching now. Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, and Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Those are my 3 biggies. So, we're talking about suspense, we're talking about this. Just the brilliance of Universal realizing that they had these guys who were their key comedy team, who were their biggest hits going, and they had all these, monsters in the basement that they were churning out. I think this is a little bit after this is after House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula. And they kind of wound down the horror department a little bit. And I think we're just looking for moments to kick him out in again. Some notable things about this. It is Bela Lugosi's final time playing actually Count Dracula on screen. He did it on TV after this, I believe, and on stage, of course. This is Universal. This is the second time he played Dracula for Universal. The first time in 1931, and then this years and years later. And he's older, and he doesn't look like he did, obviously, in the original film, but he still got something in this movie, and it's nice that he got as compromised as he was in his career by the studios, and by his own faults, of course. It's wonderful that he got this one last chance to do the thing he did better than anyone else in the world. So there's that. Glenn Strange as the monster is awesome. I like him. I'm a Karloff guy, but there's something. Glenn Strange to me is sort of this hybrid. He's this way station between Karloff and Fred Gwynne in the Munsters. He's somewhere halfway between the two things, and I always dig seeing it. And then maybe closest to my heart I don't know, is Lon Chaney Jr. in this film. Again, getting to come back, do his part that he was most famous for one more time. Again, I do believe he did it on TV at least once after this, maybe more. Also, before this, I think we had last left the Wolfman character, Lawrence Talbot, having been shot with a silver bullet by a gypsy girl who was in love with him after attacking her, trying to kill her. He'd been cured and then suddenly was back again. Within, I think that's House of Frankenstein is the end of that. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen some of the later films. And for that, I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. We'll correct it with a note if I am. Okay, so this film presents, he's a lot, obviously Lawrence Talbot is still alive, he's still the Wolfman, he's still ongoing with this curse. The Wolfman is this unique, amazing character who, Lawrence Talbot, all he wants is to die, and he can't. And that, from a young age, that always fascinated me as a character. He's so tragic. All he wants is release, and it's the one thing he can't have. This film pits him as this sort of heroic, flawed, but yes, heroic character fighting Dracula, which is awesome, and gives him maybe the greatest ending ever. Just this perfect moment where Dracula's escaping and he runs out on a balcony, leaps up, grabs Dracula in bat form, and they plummet into the ocean. And from a young age, I always thought, man, that's a way to take a character out right there. That's something. And I still think that. My opinion of that has not changed. So, anyway, all right. That is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Today is Halloween. I want to wish you all happy Halloween. I want to thank you all for listening all month, those of you who have, to October Country. This is the end of the series for this year. We'll be back next year, possibly in this form, possibly in a different form. We will see. I want to thank Lucien Dessart and Jeffrey B. Dean for providing the music for this series. It's possibly some of my favorite part of the series. They're both incredibly talented, and you should follow both of them on their medias and stuff, because they do great stuff, and they're both super nice guys. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you one more time listening along. That's it. This is Jim Towns signing off for Halloween 2017. I hope you all have a wonderful, fun, spooky, and safe night.